What's up, everybody? Today we have a video, another one from the Twitter user called Western Lensman. This guy is a champ for freedom of speech and is followed by Elon Musk. He's a pretty cool account. I'd recommend giving him a follow. He has some pretty cool videos, and I really like how he explains some topics in a very easy to understand, simple, short video. So just about an hour ago, Western Lensman posted this tweet and said, "Weapons of mass migration, the new film explained in under 2 minutes. The open borders agenda has been weaponized to destroy the United States. The UN, NGOs, China, and our own leaders are complicit. How? Why? This new documentary film uncovers the hard truths about one of the most urgent issues of our time." This video produced as an ad partnership with the Epoch Times. Link to watch the full film in the threaded post. And attached to this tweet, obviously, there's a video, so check that out.
The new film, Weapons of Mass Migration, explained in under 2 minutes.
Around 7.2 million illegal immigrants entered the United States under President Joe Biden alone.
Role of the UN.
To what extent is the United Nations facilitating the border crisis?
Under the Biden administration, nearly $1.3 billion was given to the UN assisting migrants in 2023.
Role of the NGOs.
How much power do the NGOs operating alongside the United Nations have in these countries?
For these NGOs and the cartels, it is a business.
The China threat.
The Chinese are not just using their own migrants as a weapon. The CCP is also financing the migration's nuclear bomb projects that will complete the Pan-American Highway.
You just fly into Brazil or get on buses, you're in San Diego.
Water has been contaminated, they believe, from all the dead bodies in the river.
There's dead bodies all over the place. The people pushing this are leading people to their death.
But a big question still remains. Why are they doing this?
Transform the U.S. electorate.
Millions of illegals into United States to change the demographics, to change the voting patterns, to create chaos.
The multipolar world agenda.
The multipolar world agenda is a euphemism for destroying the United States.
The narrative has been echoed by the World Economic Forum and from CCP leader Xi Jinping.
Global governance.
The primary objective is to undermine people's attachment to their nation state, and this facilitates the emergence of global governance, which is the ultimate objective.
This is all happening because our elected leaders agreed to it. It's being facilitated. The American people deserve to know why.
Yeah, are you surprised the UN is involved? I'm not. It's had the UN's writing written all over it from the beginning. And not only that, Biden has been all in the back pocket of the UN anyways. So it's like they might as well just be one and the same. Yeah, I didn't know that President Biden gave the UN $1.3 billion to help facilitate migrants around the world. That's ridiculous. That's my tax dollars that paid for that. Like, guys, we're headed towards a economic crisis, and what are we doing? We just keep blowing out the checkbook, just blowing out the budget every chance we get. Just here's $1 billion, there's $1 billion. Just like Oprah, you get $1 billion, you get $1 billion, you get 95 billion. Like, what are we doing, guys? And then we wonder why inflation's so bad. Like, come on. And not only that, like this is a literal invasion of our country. Like anyone with eyes can clearly see that this is just a complete breakdown of law and order. And if we don't do something to stop this this push towards globalization, then by the time everyone else wakes up to it, it might be too late, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is this migrant crisis needs to stop. The United States needs to pull all funding from NATO. It needs to pull all funding from the United Nations. Neither of those organizations serve the interests of the American people, so why are my tax dollars funding those organizations? And it was funny too, when Trump was talking about pulling out of NATO back when he was president, everyone on the left was freaking out like, oh my God, without NATO, Russia's just going to take over the world. Ah! And it's like, well, look what happened. We stayed in NATO, and then now NATO might have accidentally started World War III with Russia, and now we're involved in it because we're still part of NATO, guys. Good job. Good job, everyone. Trump could have avoided this. Trump tried to help us avoid this, but we're too stupid to want to avoid World War III. We're like, no, we must have World War III. But hey, man, you know, I don't like to make videos on just negative things. If I'm reporting on something that's just a giant rain cloud that's, taking a giant dump on your parade, I like to believe that there's a silver lining to every cloud. And the silver lining to this cloud, the contrast between Joe Biden's presidency and Donald Trump's presidency, I think is going to be such a whiplash, and is going to hand out red pills to so many people that there's no way Joe Biden can win the 2020 election. He's the most unpopular president right now. And if he does win, then everyone's going to know it was because they let illegals vote in the election. There's no other way he could have won unless they just fabricated votes. Because, I guess letting illegals vote in the election would essentially be equivalent to fabricating votes, but it'd just be a different form of doing it. But yeah, I really hope that the states put in enough of a security system for our elections that we can actually trust the results of the 2024 election, because I fear that enough states might just let illegals vote, and that's going to sway the outcome of the election. And at that point, we might actually end up with a real civil war in this country. I hope not. I pray we can avoid this, but with the way Biden's talking, one thing I've learned about Democrats is anything that they accuse the Republicans of, if you just go ahead and assume that it's actually the Democrats that are guilty of the thing that they're accusing Republicans of, you'll actually be correct more often than not. And the fact that Joe Biden is saying that, well, if Trump doesn't win, then there's going to be like riots and literal war in the streets. That to me makes me think that if Biden doesn't win, there's going to be a bunch of leftists out in the street trying to start a civil war or something. Hopefully, this time around, the police get to do their job and arrest all these lunatics. But I guess we'll all see come November. So yeah, why don't you go ahead and pop a bag of popcorn, pull up a seat, leave a like on this video, subscribe to this channel, and just come sit with me and watch the world burn. Because, if we can't stop the world from destroying itself, then we might as well at least have a good time while it's ending. So somebody bring a banjo, and let's go tell campfire stories.